ODT editorial manager Philip Somerville has helped manage the paper's stable of often opinionated opinion writers for some time. The brief for those writers lies outside the usual objective nature of journalists. Phil joins us today to shine a light on that world. Good evening, Phil.
Yes, hi, Rebecca.
The opinion page had a rather interesting decision to make this week in terms of what some might consider offensive language. Can you tell us about that?
Well, generally the ODT is quite conservative in the language it uses, unlike mainstream television, of course. And one of our columnists used a word that we normally wouldn't. Without the word, the column fell over, and it was apt, and it was in its place. And because columnists have a bit more freedom, I alerted the editor, said, surely we can use this in this context, and he said fine. So that perhaps illustrated that opinion pages sometimes are a bit different to the rest of the paper.
Any fallout from including that word?
No, none at all. I mean, it's quite mild compared with, as I said, what you see on television and what is in the street. The language has changed so much, but we tend to be behind, and we're happy to be behind the mainstream on that. What
is the role of the opinion page?
Well, a lot of journalism is attributive journalism and reporting what's happening and what people are saying. The point of the opinion page is to allow, as it says, strong opinions to be expressed, as well as some humour, as well as some analysis. And it's important that a range of opinions, of course we have a wide range of opinions, and that's great. Someone once said to me, why are you putting in this? Do you think that? And I said, well, if we agreed to put on the opinion page what I agreed with, only 25% of it would stay there.
What kind of response do you get from people? Do you get a lot of strong reactions?
Well, we get quite a few reactions through the letters to the editor, and some emails and responses like that, and we get people who see an article and it riles them to respond with an opposing article, and sometimes we're able to meet that and follow up with an opposing article, and sometimes we move on.
Now, you feature writings sometimes from people like Joe Bennett to Chris Trotter. How is it decided who gets featured?
Well, in those two cases, they're quite long-standing writers, and they're both extremely talented writers. So the ability to write and the ability to write interestingly is one of the criteria. In other areas, criteria is to say things of interest. It's wonderful to read an opinion page piece that's not entirely predictable. Chris Trotter's a master at that. You read it and think, I hadn't thought of that issue like that. So we're looking for people that do that, or people like Joe. When you're in the mood, he's really on song. I must admit, sometimes, when you're a bit of a rush, it doesn't quite click with you, but when you're in the mood, a writer like that is observing about people and society, and adds a bit of edge. So in the past, we've looked for skilled practitioners like that, plus contributions from readers generally.
ODT editorial manager Philip Somerville, thanks very much for your time.